Where'd it go?
That's the most horrible, awkward thing I've ever seen. And the music like abruptly just stopped.
That was awkward.
I was like,
you couldn't have faded that out, bro. Like I thought you took lessons for the shit.
I literally just adjusted that right now. That was my fault.
My bad. Oh man.
We knew whose fault it was. We knew whose fault it was.
Look, a little messed up. I'm trying to do some art and you just don't appreciate it. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
feel my passion.
Feel my passion.
I felt it there.
Lolito.
I felt it there.
Lolito. Oh shit.
Oh.
There we go.
God.
We are on. You bastard.
Oh.
A lot of
goodness.
A lot of stuff happened in the world of professional wrestling. Seems like
always does within a week. Always does.
Usually does. I mean,
hey, I'd like to start with the obviousness. This has gone around social media a little bit, but there's people out there that seem to think that Rhea is getting everything that is coming to her. Let me explain. Does anybody remember how Rhea got Dom to join the Judgment Day?
No.
Remember those highlights?
Oh yeah.
They were beautiful, by the way.
Oh yeah.
What happened, Jess? What happened, buddy?
Huh?
What'd she do? You remember?
Terrorized.
People, I think, forget.
No.
Did she steal him from someone?
she
terrorized him.
Well, I mean, I know that she eventually she got in his ear, because he was tagging with Ray, his dad, and then she got in his ear and kind of corrupted him.
She did a lot more than that. She basically traumatized him to the point of PTSD, and you must join or you're going to die. So he's in this. Or no one realized he's in this heightened state of mommy PTSD all the time, and she did that to him,
which is another layer to the story, And now, now we're all chanting, "Mommy, yeah, you get yours, mommy, you get your revenge." Like,
yeah, because the storyline has been fun, and we all laughed our asses off every week when she would beat the shit out of him every single week. She would destroy him for like 6 weeks, and we thought it was great. But everyone's wondering why. Like, why didn't he call her? Because he's scared of her. He's scared of mommy. That's 100% true. The live stuff is all secondary to that. But why didn't you contact her? Like, I know why. Because dude, it's like if your dad, I'm sorry, this is terrible, but if your dad hurts you all the time, like, do you really want to hey, Dad, you want to come over for Thanksgiving? Like, probably not. Probably don't want to do that. Like,
you're a
you
monster.
Finally got separation for a while. You're a monster.
Ray was a shitty father, and
he
were
was.
there Christmas or Thanksgiving.
He's a deadbeat dad.
DVD.
Was it Thanksgiving or Christmas when he got arrested?
The Christmas. It was,
oh my God!
They went there on Thanksgiving the first time, and then Christmas.
Dom has provided us with, if anything else, if he's just got, I hope this doesn't happen, but if he gets a career-ending injury tomorrow and he can't, I'm going to be like, he gave us the greatest WrestleMania entrance of all time.
Oh, dude, that's still between his and
coming
Rusev,
out in the paddy wagon is the best with handcuff is the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Didn't you have a
NYPD paddy wagon in Los Angeles?
Yep.
So fucking good.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta stay true to it, man. Come on.
I like how Damien brought that up too. Remember because remember how Jay came up to them backstage and said, "Oh, I heard mommy's single and all that stuff." And remember Damien Priest was kind of like egging Dom on. He's like, "Oh, you can let him talk about mommy like that?" He's like, "You went to prison, didn't you?" Like, he's like, "You're right.
Yeah,
you're right." Like. Just bringing that shit up.
And then the interview I post something too when he's like, "We're gonna go to the Waffle House. I know it's not expensive, but it's good quality." Like he's like, "You just holler at me. Like it's the best thing."
And Jay was,
yeah. Does Rhea have your number? Yeet.
Yeah, can I share something with the group real quick? Before we came on the air, I was talking about I was having a Zin, and I was like, sometimes they give me hiccups, and I have hiccups now because of the Zin that I just put in my cheek.
I'm sorry, buddy.
So I'm 48 years old, and I can't handle the nicotine pouch. I get hiccups. So if you hear me,
why is that
hiccup? I don't. It's literally a side effect of nicotine. Is hiccups?
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
I looked it up on the Google.
Break.
Yeah.
But when we used to smoke cigarettes, like I never got hiccups when I smoked cigarettes.
No, neither did I.
It's a different.
And like I said, I was telling the group, it was like my first pack, and it said 3 or 6, and I thought it was the number of Zins inside it, and it was 6. It was the highest milligram, and I hadn't vaped or smoked in 15 years, and I just the kids are talking about it, and I put it in, and then
stop listening to them kids, man.
So kids learn how to do drugs properly. God,
yeah, we'll do
sorry.
that. We'll do that. I don't know where we go from here.
Oh, I mean, if you want to keep talking about Raw, man, that
I'll see you at the matches.
The Eric Rowan promo. Did you guys watch that?
We'll see you at the.
It was
matches.
good.
It was really good. It hit the feels, that one.
Yeah. I was wondering if he was going to bring them both up because I'm like, he's only going to bring up Bray, but he did bring
Both
deaths up, and that's legitimate. He's speaking from the heart there, and it was probably the best promo he ever cut.
Oh yeah,
and that's what happens when you speak about things that are you draw things that are very close to you, and I hate to say that I don't want to say it's easy because I don't think any of us could do it to that level, but it's easier when you're drawing from something that's so personal. And he was very close to both of them, and it was. I enjoyed it for so many reasons because we're actually hearing what people think about these situations that we're all kind of heartbroken by too, by having these people out of our lives in the wrestling world, and actually hearing someone like Aaron Rowan talk about that in a promo was much closer, I think, than most people realize. It was excellent, and I'm glad I got the chance to hear it.
So are they moving away from the supernatural and getting out of costume quickly?
Well, I think that was going to be the point, though. The whole point to begin with. I think they were just going to be dark, and that was going to be kind of like, that's basically going to be their ring entrance attire and the way they intimidate people. But yeah, like they're doing a good job because they're just slowly. Because at first, like I said before, I was like, they're going to keep doing the smoke thing and blah blah blah. But they keep adding to it every week, and they're slowly peeling the layers.
I don't mind the videotape
really
stuff because, like, I know you were saying last week, like you're tired of the videotape. But if they reintroduce a character every time, they're probably going to have
that part. I'm fine with.
All of the characters out, like being interviewed, and I love that. So there's another 4 weeks of that. By the way,
the part. And this one didn't take a Raw TV time. This tape appeared on the Pat McAfee show, which I thought was kind of cool, and he brought it to Raw to play.
Well, it took up time because they replayed the whole Pat McAfee thing, so it took up time on Raw.
But it was different. It wasn't just the same.
I love it. I love that they'll be doing different stuff like that too.
I don't hate the video thing
every week.
I hate the theatrics leading up to them deliver. Like I'm supposed to believe you took out the security guard and you gave the tape to Michael Cole. Like, oh man, we gotta play this on the track.
You clearly saw he did do that. So what don't you understand?
And then Jay dives into the ring every single time. Like Jay's getting more and more petrified and just running away every time.
Like,
because he's smart.
It's awesome.
Because he's smart.
He flat out interviewed. He's like, "You can have the Fireflies back. I don't listen.
I don't want that.
I don't want a problem."
I'll just call him the mosquito.
I hate to go back to Jay and Rhea because I love talking about it.
Oh, it's fine.
You had to see. Did you see the split screen of Jay? Call me, and she kind of turns and then she smiles. I'm like, that was good. Like she gave a nice little smile as she walked out.
And there was a social media moment where not Kathy Kelly, but someone else said, "Does Jay have your number? Does Jay have your number, or do you have Jay's number on your cell phone?" And she goes, "Yeet."
I'm looking for a woman. You know what I mean? I wanted a woman.
So not so in 2 weeks. SummerSlam's in 2 weeks.
Yep.
They always they take forever to tell stories, which I love now.
Yeah, it's way better.
I was thinking, like, do you think we're going to see a Dom and Liv against Jay and Rhea?
Oh shit!
SummerSlam?
I guess
that's exactly
how they go,
my wife said that. My wife said that when we watched Raw on Tuesday. We had to watch it a day later.
I mean, they're going to have to introduce it next week.
She's like, we're going to have that match, right? I'm like, maybe.
They're gonna have to introduce it this Monday on Raw, and then start.
You could see Liv. You can see Liv kind of like taking it over to the GM.
Rhea's got to fight
Liv this match. He's like
for the title first.
Oh right, that's actually
that's happening at SummerSlam, right?
Yes,
right.
I don't know. Or do you hold that? Just hold that. Just wait. You don't have to do the title match at SummerSlam.
Well, I think they already are going to.
I think they already said SummerSlam on Raw.
Maybe they'll do it.
Yeah, because someone.
Oh, did they already?
Yeah, someone said because both women's titles are up for grabs the first time all year on a PLE. So it's Bailey and Nia and Rhea and. Is SummerSlam 2 nights? It's not, right? It's only 1 night.
No, that starts in 2025.
Oh,
yeah, it starts next year.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Because what are they? Which big pay-per-view? Oh, Royal Rumble, right? They're doing it in another country, right? Next year.
Indiana is another country. No.
Wait.
Whoa.
No, but I thought that was one of the reasons why they're going to do SummerSlam 2 nights because they're going to do one of the big fours in another country. Or is that not starting yet?
I don't know.
Have they announced that? I thought Royal Rumble was announced for another country.
They were talking about a number of PLEs that are going to be overseas. But...
Didn't Minnesota get a Royal Rumble for them not getting WrestleMania?
Yeah, so here are the matches. Here are the matches announced already for SummerSlam. We have Damian Priest against Gunther for the TV title. Bailey against Nia Jax for the Women's Championship.
Oh,
Liv Morgan and Rhea is announced for the Women's World Championship. Cody Rhodes and Solo and Logan Paul and LA Knight are the matches announced so far.
Wow.
LA Knight's going to win his first championship.
Cuz sent a text
one.
earlier saying Logan Paul kind of ran circles around LA Knight, and he kind of did.
He kind of did, man, because...
And what was my response to that?
That was planned. Like, they have to get him on the same level as LA Knight if people are going to believe that.
It's just the way that...
So,
it's not even to not be surprised that Logan Paul is good. It's more that he brought up the whole, like, you're just a wannabe Rock, and I don't know, I guess I expected LA Knight to come back with a harder zinger, and he kind of really didn't. It was kind of fell flat, like, with his comeback.
So, haven't heard that before.
Like, Logan Paul's was way better, like, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's all he really said. He just said, you're just low P, low tier, low quality, low P. Like, he should have, and I'm sure he probably thought about it, maybe. He probably didn't want to bring up the fact that, the only reason you're famous is because you recorded a dead body. He probably didn't want to talk about that stuff right now. But, that would have been a bad idea. But that would have been an ultimate burn, too.
So, are you going to Japan? Or you're not? You're not going to Japan?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, we're touring Japan this week. Oh, but you can't go. Wonder why? Like, but like he literally, like, it was just a very, like, I don't know, flat like response. And I think to me that's always been like one of the things. Like, he is a good promo, but there's like certain things I'm like, sometimes it just seems like I don't know.
No, this is what I said. You guys might disagree with LA Knight right now. And
but honestly, if you go back to The Rock, like, The Rock wasn't all. I mean, The Rock was consistently great on the mic, but The Rock never had. Every week wasn't hitting him out of the park. He repeated himself tons of times. So I compare him to The Rock, which is the big insult.
I know. But like the moments like this is where it
he even repeated himself. He repeated himself with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins said, "We already fucking heard you. Like, stop. Like, we're done."
Yeah.
Like, that was happening during the WrestleMania push. So it happens. But LA Knight, there's a thing about LA Knight right now that I think people have missed, and I'm not saying that I like it. I also say that he's so over that it doesn't matter. But his promos haven't been that good. Dare I say. When you go out and you see LA Knight, even if he's on his own, what does he say? What does he say?
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Which is fine. Get the catchphrases, but like there needs to be more in between.
He plugs whatever PLE's coming. He's talking about and then he's out of there. He doesn't do anything spectacular. He doesn't get deep into a promo because that's not his way. But he's always done that, and I think we're expecting too much of LA Knight because LA Knight has caught fire just with one singular phrase of yeah. And I love it, and I love his work in the ring. And I love his reactions. He's telling a story in there. I don't think that his promos are A+, but they also think they never have been. Like, they're not Jericho promos. They're certainly not like, the old Hogan promos of old. Like, he's never been that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not Stone Cold on the promo.
I want to know what the hell is so impressive about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why are we surprised that Logan Paul got him on the promo? Logan Paul is
I'm not surprised.
Legit.
I was just pointing out, like,
I'm not surprised at all.
Like,
just but I'm telling you, I think that we're expecting too much of LA Knight in that situation because he's never been that. And if you want to chalk up it as a weakness, that's the one weakness of LA Knight right now and period is that he's never done anything deeper than what he's doing. Let me talk to you, who he's wrestling. And I'm gonna, stomp your head in, whatever, and he's out of there. It's never been that. It hasn't.
Which
been
is funny.
That
it's also what got him fantastic. Over too. Is
Of course.
That's what. Yeah. Funny about it too.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't understand why. Oh, he didn't do a great promo. I'm like, when were you? It's not
that he wasn't even that great. It just like I think that was especially because of how many people talk shit. Like, you're just a wannabe rock. So like that was like the moment where you should have, kind of shined a little bit higher than Paul for that diss. That's just how I felt. Like. I'm like, oh no! When I heard that, I was like, no. I like said that out loud. I was like, no.
I think it's low hanging.
I mean, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine, but
I don't think. I thought you were gonna say Logan did something better than that. Honestly, when you said he kind of got over on him, I thought it would be something deeper than he sounds like.
No, the whole Logan's whole promo though was
because he basically said, "I'm a self-made billionaire." He's all you just staying in one place. Talk to me, like
everything leading up to the wannabe rock line. Yeah,
it was really good. It was just like everything I do, I kill kind of thing.
And then it was like a great...
and by the way, is that all true right now? Yeah, I think
it was a great
for
diss.
Logan. It's all true.
It was like having someone being a great disser, and then your response was like your mom. Like that's kind of how the comparison of the two promos.
I'm rubber your
so.
But then he had an exchange with Escobar, and that was better than his exchange with Paul. Like backstage, they had an exchange. And he's like, you know where to find me? Your mom's got my number. And then he just walked out. Like, that was good. Like, I'm like, okay, why keep that in the fucking ring? Like, so I don't know. There was just a little nitpicky, but I just don't want his push to fizzle out to where it's like, I know they're doing a slow burn. You got so many people at the top right now. You can't like have everyone on the top. So I know why they're doing a slow burn with LA Knight. I just don't want anything to like kill what could be, a potential push to the main event eventually. Because I know people are going to pop for him. Unless,
do we think he's going to beat Logan Paul?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
Go back in the
so.
archives. I told you guys he needs a secondary title first. He'll do it.
He does.
He's not gonna.
And if you go back less than that, like Jess said that way back, and I said a little bit way back, he will take the U.S. title at SummerSlam. I said that months ago. That's just the right time to do it.
We know he needs a secondary title first in order for people to, and then he's not. Triple H plans things a year out, so it's like like
well,
he has
I know
to into the U.S. title.
Him, so.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think the match might steal the show. I mean, it's going to be good.
It's definitely going to be good. I think all the matches on the card again, just like Money in the Bank on.
Well, again, what do we have to complain about when it comes to match and storytelling in the
speaking
WWE
of the promos, right did you guys hear Bailey's promo on Nia Jax?
No.
Another fucking burn. Oh my god, it was so good. Like Nia Jax was basically saying, "I hurt you because I'm bigger and stronger than you," blah blah blah, and then Bailey was like, "You didn't hurt me because you're bigger than me, because you're stronger than me, because you're more violent than me. She's like, you hurt me because you're bigger than me and you're clumsy and you're reckless." And I was like, oh my god, like that was so good. It was so good. Like, and then Nia Jax
guaranteed they talked about it before, which is fine.
Fucking funny.
That's awesome.
That's fine.
We talk about
all that.
BBL Bailey, which
it's kind of cool because Nia Jax said on social or something. She's like, the reason I said that is because it's obvious she has a perfect, beautiful, well-made behind. So like she basically complimented her.
She does.
Yeah.
God, man.
Nia just calls him like she sees him. But yeah, I mean, that's all from socials, and that's great. Like they're not stupid. Everybody says, not everybody, but there's a ton of squeaky wheels out there that say that Nia is reckless. And there's the big one in what's Mr. Racket? What's his name? He destroyed Nia Jax a few weeks ago. I know we talked about it, but because he talked about the Queen of the Ring. It was the same thing. It was weeks back, but just it resurfaces all the time, and he's pretty awful about it. I'll just say that. I think he goes too far, but Bailey and Ellos pick up on that. That's saying someone's clumsy and reckless is perfect because it plays into those socials, and that's what you want. You're gonna get clicks, and it's great. And I'm sure they all, do that. It's gonna be awesome. Do that. They're just doing. I mean, it's easy. It's easy. Listen, that shit is easy.
Yeah. Let me kind of bring it in. I'm not gonna compare her to this other guy, but maybe I should. And it's not the only reason why I like Sting. But one of the main reasons why I like Sting is when he got challenged by Vader and got punched in the face, he stood up to him. And that's one of the big things that I think Vader and Sting understood. I mean, obviously I wasn't there in the locker room with them. But I think that Sting understood that if I stand up to these monsters, I'm going to get bigger pops and people are going to believe in me more. If the monster noticeably tones down, like when Hogan would face them, like you would see them being obviously more careful. But Sting never wanted that from Vader. And I think that the face that comes along, like Becky or Bailey possibly, that accepts that from Nia, they're going to get launched into the stratosphere because their character will take the same abuse that you see her being clumsy with, what we defined as clumsy, which I don't necessarily agree with per se.
I don't think we say that here,
It was scary when she sat on What's-Her-Face's stomach at Queen of the Ring.
Valkyria.
But we don't know that they set it up that way. I'm not saying maybe she landed where she wasn't supposed to.
They absolutely did because nothing came from it. It was fine.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, if I love Sting anyway, and I think we'd always find different reasons to love Sting, even if he never feuded with Vader. But one of the highlights of Sting's career was the way he stood up to Vader and the way that Vader didn't hold back. You know, Mick Foley's one thing because he's like, run over me with a car, I'm fine. But like Sting is like, like Sting wanted him to. I want you to be as rough with me as you are with everybody else, because if you're not, it looks like you're taking it easy on me because I can't handle it, and that's not okay with me. And that's why Sting and Vader click so well. So the person that walks up to Nia and says, "I accept your violence. I don't care. Like I'm going to take it, and I'm going to stand up in your face and punch back." that's the person that's going to get over. That's what Becky did. That's what, and that's how you get over on Nia. And that's how you use her as a good heel. So the people, and I know Jim Cornette's been in the wrestling business, blah, blah, blah. But like, I also think that he's short-sighted. I also think that he does a lot of stuff.
I disagree with him. Yeah.
I agree with a lot of the stuff that he says, but I disagree with a lot of stuff he says. Because I'm like, listen, man, if she hurt people, she would have been fired a long time ago. Yes, she did get released and left for a while, but that was for budget reasons. I'm almost positive. It was never because she hurt somebody.
I think she said she kind of wanted to go too, right? To take a break.
Yeah.
I think she had said something about that.
Because at the time, there wasn't really too many other places you can go to. And I think that, like, she would not be there right now if she was hurting people. And she might hurt people. Let me rephrase that. But she's not doing it fucking intentionally.
She's not botching
I think they have to harness her heelness, if that makes any sense. And Triple H is the best person for the job.
To be Vader.
I look at her and be like, all right, how can we harness you being a monster? How can we do this? Like,
to give you an example of that, just too, that like people forget, because with dudes this doesn't seem to matter. So I don't know who the guy is. He seems to be interviewing every wrestler right now.
Chris Van Vliet,
black hair.
Yeah, Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, so he's wrestling. He was talking to Rey Mysterio, and I caught it on socials.
Oh, the Big Show.
And he's like, "How about that choke slam from Big Show?" He's like, "I don't remember it." He's like, "Can I show it to you?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, let me look at it." So he brings it up for him. He's already got it queued up on his phone, and shows Ray. He's like, "Was that really snug? That really hurt?" And Ray's like, "Yeah, that was pretty snug. That was pretty snug." And he's like, and he's also hit me right in the center of the ring, which doesn't have much give there, or a portion of the ring didn't give much. So yeah, now that I see it, yeah, that one really hurt. And that's the thing. But did the show ever get like released or get talked shit? No, he was doing his job. Like he took Ray, he got him so high in the air and didn't release him until he was past like his waist, and then let him go. Like he drove him into the mat. Nobody says shit about that. But with Nia, because I hate to say it, I think a lot of it has to be because she's a lady and she's big. It's just easy to shit on her when it looks like she's hurting people. But sometimes you just have to like equate that to being snug. And this is good shit. It's good wrestling. And they put impact on their bodies every single day. And that's the job. So look,
Vader fucked up prelims unnecessarily. I will say that. But I mean, like,
that's fair.
And that's
but he was
okay,
told to.
But
it wasn't like they said, don't do that.
I still think it is dangerous and it is predetermined, and I understand all of that. But I also think too that a good babyface will look at that opportunity and be like, everybody else wants to be afraid of this. I am not, which will make me stand
I'm
out.
Gonna sell, and I'm going to sell the shit out of this too.
And by the way, if she was really hurting anybody, she'd be fired.
Yeah, she would be. Yeah,
I agree.
They wouldn't let her.
100%.
No one would want to work with her.
Everyone's career over there. Yeah,
they wouldn't put her in there with Bailey if like, come on.
And
like,
man,
and they're all working with her.
I love it.
Fine.
I want her to be that stiff Vader type, heel. I love it. I think Bailey can bring it with her. Tiffany Stratton can bring it. Like, I think that's going to be another one that's going to have that like you're saying the baby face that stands up to the big monster, because they're kind of teasing already. Where remember like last week Tiffany wanted to cash it in on Bailey and Nia looked at her and she's kind of like I have a match with Bailey. Like what the fuck are you doing? She's like yeah. I think because Tiffany's already over. Yeah. Like she's over. And they're going to I think they're going to use that to probably even launch her career. But man, all the women that are going to be coming from NXT, there's a lot of hard hitters there. And these are some women that haven't even been in professional wrestling before NXT. And they're fucking just bringing the heat. So I can't wait to see some of these chicks come up and Nia be that big monster heel gatekeeper. And they're just having fucking stiff matches with each other. Like, there's a lot of good stuff going on over there.
If they're smart about it, Nia is going to be that threshold that everybody has to pass to get to championships, and hopefully Nia can pick up a few more along the way.
I want to see Nia win.
I'm a big Nia fan. It's not her time right now, but the great thing about what they can do now is that when you lose a championship, you're not buried forever. Like you can come back up and still have significant stuff and be on TV. Triple H just figured out how to get a lot of people good TV points and times. I mean, there are some that are like, man, I haven't seen him in a while. But for the most part, like people are getting good time, and as long as you can bring something to the table, you're being rewarded. So I think there's a lot of room for Nia. And you talked about her taking a break too, cuz I mean, before that break even happened, there was a time when Nia was, I think, she blown out like both MCLs or ACLs.
Yeah, she had a couple injuries.
She had like no, like almost like no ligaments in the knee, and she's still working on people and still wrestling and being stung with them.
Like Big Show.
Right, and I'm over here like, you guys need to cut Nia a little bit of slack here. Like the stuff she's done and the way she's done it and the injuries she's worked through and not even realize she's had them to keep going. and still be like a huge force. And like you said, that benchmark that you got to go through to be at that championship level, because Nia will test you. I don't know, man. I think people have her all wrong.
And honestly,
they have her all wrong.
Honestly, fucking put her in the bloodline. Like, that's because they keep talking about, like, oh, Tamina or Naomi. Fucking put her
that'd
in the bloodline,
that'd be
dude.
great. That'd be
Put her in the
great.
bloodline.
I kind of wish for that a little bit.
Yeah,
she'd
like,
always have TV time that way too.
I honestly want.
You know?
I said it. I think last week. I know Solo's probably not going to win, but I kind of want him to win, and I kind of want Tama Tonga and Tangaloa to win the tag titles and put Nia.
There are
with the
people out there
title.
saying Solo's going to win. There are people out there talking about it.
I wouldn't be
already.
surprised because they just announced on whatever website that Hikuloa finally did sign with WWE today, or well, this week. The 6'8". He's gonna be called Tala Tonga. So creative. Tala Tonga. He's 6'8". Get it? Tala Tonga.
Yeah.
Complete show.
Like a
I think
telephone
this might
pole.
be
Yeah,
one
I
of
got.
my best ideas yet.
Yeah.
I actually know. I think that's one. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, he's not going to win. Let's be clear on that. But there are people out there that think he will and that he should. But I go out there and argue that's why the Bloodline won at the last PLE as a group.
Well,
because
they're not going to cut his legs off. Like, Roman will interfere and stop Solo from winning.
He's due to come back, right? That's what everybody's saying.
Well, I don't know. I feel like Roman
Cody's
might
not going to beat him
yet.
fair because you'll stop the momentum if you do that, and you can't do that. Like, so.
I mean,
like, Bloodline needs to be strong, and if they lose, it's because either Roman's music hits and it distracts Solo, and they don't miss the cue this time.
And then you veer off into a Bloodline versus Bloodline, right? At that point, right, Jess?
Yeah, and then that way Solo loses, and then when Roman does come back, he'd be like, "You couldn't even win the title." And he's like, "Your fucking music played." He's like, "I don't know, I didn't tell it to do that, did I?"
Would it be funny if, like, the way he loses, like, Solo just stubs his toe in the match? He's all, "Mother Joe Hendry," and so say his name, and he just comes out. Solo gets distracted. And just Cody rolls him up.
That is the biggest fireball that has come through social media the last 2 weeks.
I love it,
and I'm here for all of it.
Yep,
I also can't believe how much musical stuff either he's done or people have done for him. It's so much fun just making fun of Elias. I saw recently. I think you posted it.
He went to North Wrestling.
He did a Big Show parody. It's fantastic. Like. The dude's immensely talented. I still have not even seen him really wrestle. I haven't watched any matches, but
NXT now.
I'm sure he's good enough.
TNA and NXT,
watch NXT on the Forbidden Door.
They are
right?
on fire right now, man. Yeah, they're trading. The No Quarter Catch Club, which is Charlie Dempsey, Tavian Heights, and God, I always forget the exact name, but he literally looks like a young Randy Orton. They're a bunch of amateur wrestlers, great grapplers and wrestlers, and they're feuding right now in NXT with the Rascals. The Rascals, Wentz was teaming with Wesley as MSK originally in NXT, but they were also originally the Rascals before going to NXT. They're just doing all this collaboration. Isa Dame, she's a newer NXT woman wrestler. She went to fight Jordan Grace on Impact for the title. Jordan Grace beat her. There's just a lot of good. I'm loving it, man. And then Tavian Heights and the other guy that's part of North Dakota Catch Club, they're actually going to be competing in the N1 tournament, the Pro Wrestling Noah. So they're going to be in Japan for a month, and they're going to be representing NXT in that tournament.
You're saying a lot of words right now, and I can't keep up.
Sorry,
I can't.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's so much better without fucking Vince, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, it allows so much more. I agree. And if you're really getting down to the weeds like that, which not everybody will, but some will, and you're seeing amazing talent come through that you wouldn't have normally seen. All I have to say is when the crowd was singing his song word for word, he looked so proud. He just gave that look like, you guys finally got it. Like, you could see it in his eyes. He's like, And he's looking around. He's like, he might sign with them after his contract's up in September. He even said it on NXT when he appeared last week or this week. He said,
it's like a 6-man elimination tomorrow on TNA's pay-per-view, right? They're bound for glory.
Yeah, Slammiversary. It's gonna be Slammiversary.
Oh, Slammiversary. Sorry, and
that's the WrestleMania, right?
It's like a 6-man elimination for the.
That's basically
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bound for Glory kind of was, but yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that was too.
Yeah, but Slammiversary was a big deal too. He's in the 6-man elimination. Moose is the champion, but he's in the 6-man for the title.
Give it to him.
Nice.
I could see
tomorrow
something
or
happening
today, whenever you listen.
Yeah, give it to Joe Hendry. He'll probably bring it to NXT. I know Moose has been saying he wanted to show up on NXT, and who knows, maybe an NXT wrestler is going to show up on because he is kind of like now beefing with the Gallus boys on NXT. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if they actually cost Joe Hendry the match tomorrow. on at Slammiversary.
Yeah,
'cause they kinda
I
have, like, a
look
beat
for
going.
NXT interference for sure.
Yeah,
Tomorrow
it's awesome. Like, I can't believe we actually get to say
That's
that now.
cool.
Like, NXT wrestlers
That's
are going to
really
be on
neat.
TNA, or
And I bet those guys want to come back.
WWE
too.
wrestlers are going to be in Pro Wrestling Noah, like AJ Styles and Io Sky. Well, Io wrestled on Marigold, which is the new
And AJ
women's
wrestled
promotion.
Marufuji or whatever.
So, yeah, that was a really good match. From what I haven't watched it yet, but Dave Meltzer's like, it's like AJ Styles of New Japan. That's what it was. AJ Styles of New Japan.
Of course it was.
Apparently it was really good. So.
Why were you surprised? Why are you studying so much, Dave? Come on, Craig. I got a question for you. Why were little girls beating up on MJF on Wednesday?
So I need to watch that match back because I was
fuck it.
I went to a bar with friends and I watched it without audio in a bar. And it was still fantastic, but I need to. We actually were going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, but they did not let us turn the TV. So like, screw that. So we went to like a classier place that actually gave us like a 4TV thing, and it wasn't even like a bar. It was like a restaurant. And so we actually had him play Dynamite. So I saw the whole thing, and it was awesome, but did not really hear the commentary. But coming off that, and people saying it's the greatest match in Dynamite history, etc., I need to watch it again.
It's it was wonderful, and it was really good. I mean, I couldn't even say, like, after like 15 minutes, I'm like, these motherfuckers are going to go a long time. And then you just started seeing it. And when they kept coming back from commercial breaks, I was like, are they going to go the first hour? Like, that's what I thought in my head. And they went 59 minutes. And the most impressive thing about that match, how many times are we reviewing old WCW pay-per-views where they tried to, with Regal, they tried to bring that drama as the time limit was expiring. The ref had to count 2, but before 3, the time expired, and Regal, but you noticeably they fucked it up, or the referee obviously had to count slower to make sure he got in rhythm with the timekeeper or whatever. This match, it's like they just did it and it was second nature. There was no hesitation. They ended the match with 1 second left on the clock with MJF getting a 3 count. They could not have timed this better. It was absolutely perfect. And it didn't look forced at all. You forgot about the time. And then when they went down, they showed the clock in the back with the shot of the pin. And I was like, how the fuck did they do that? Like, how they just, MJF and Ospreay are that good, and they timed everything out, and like, it was absolutely perfect. I would not disagree. It's probably the best Dynamite match I've ever seen. If it was on a pay-per-view, we'd all be bowled over. It's a match of the year contender. There's so many goddamn, I can't do this. Like, there's too many fucking match of the year contenders already. Like, and it's only halfway through the year. But this was a wonderful, wonderful match.
Wow,
I guess
People on Twitter were complaining it was too long, and I was
thing,
like, I'm done. Burn this entire website down and this app. Like,
yeah, fuck you.
Shut up.
Like, how about fuck you? They're not like WWE. Fuck off. Like, you're going to get hour-long matches. They're supposed to be different than WWE. Fuck off. Like, they have improvements to make. They're not a perfect promotion, but fuck you. Like, when they give you an hour match on free television, go fuck yourself to death. Like, that's all I can tell you. Like, you're not paying for it. You fucking tuned in and you're like,
and if you want to talk about the opposite side of that, sometimes we get 1 10-minute match in the first hour of a Raw or SmackDown. That's all we get with all the other shit that's going on. So it's like, I don't know what you're complaining about. Because I still enjoy the storyline of WWE. Don't get me wrong, but like, they're different, and they're different for a reason. That's
I can critique stuff, right? I wish that they would have saved it for a paper. If you're going to give me this quality match, I wish you would have saved it. But let's be honest. Like, we grew up in the era of you watch the television, and that's the infomercial to get you to go to house shows and or watch the pay-per-views, right? It changed during the Monday Night Wars, and Bischoff is the one that said, I started like doing shit on pay-per-views to get you to watch Nitro, because more people, even if we had a good buy rate, let's say they had 400,000 buys, right, for a WCW pay-per-view, 4 million households were watching Nitro the next day. More people watched Nitro than got the pay-per-views. But the way wrestling always was, the way Vince set everything up was, you watch my Saturday morning and Sunday morning syndicated shows, and when Raw first started, you watch Raw, and we advertise what our house show feuds are going to be and what our next pay-per-view matches are going to be. So we hope that you get our pay-per-views and spend money and go out to the cities and watch our house shows. It's different now, so yes, they gave you Ospreay and MJF for free on television, but it seems like they're gearing up for, which I can understand the critique a little bit, is now they're going to rematch in England, and Ospreay will beat MJF and win the title back. I don't like that, because it's a fucking 3-week gap. like a 4-week gap. I don't like that. They may not do that, but listen, they're gonna give you an hour match on fucking free television. Shut up. It did jump their ratings for a week.
Their
it may
best
not
rating
help
since
in
April.
the long term.
Oh, nice.
It was their best rating in a while.
There you go.
But the rest of the show was really good too. Oh God, Sasha took on oh my God, what's her name?
Isla or whatever. Isla
Oh,
Nyla.
God damn it. No. Yeah, no, I can't.
Nyla Rose.
I don't want to describe her because it's going to sound like I'm. Yes, there we go. Yes. Yeah, and that was a really good match. And even though Nyla hasn't been a lot on their television or whatever, that was an excellent match. And everything else they did, the end match sucked. Okada against Swerve sucked because it was just a big service because next week is Blood and Guts. So like they had just I think they got in there and they felt each other out for like 6 minutes and then everybody ran down and the match was blown out. So but again,
I have a question. Why was Tony so mean to Tony? Why was he so mean?
Dude, no, it wasn't
May.
Tony. It wasn't Tony. It was what's her face dressed as Tony.
Mariah May.
It was Mariah May and
no, I'm talking about you.
No,
you
he said,
didn't-
"Speak,
you saw
bitch."
What he said to her when she.
it was to Mariah May. It wasn't to Tony. That wasn't Tony in the ring. It was Mariah May.
Oh, I
No,
thought
it was
Tony Storm.
Mariah
Was it
May
Tony Storm?
dressed as Tony
No, it
Storm
was
to
Mariah May.
explain why she killed
She
her.
dressed up as Tony Storm. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
so I gotta go back
that.
and watch all that now.
And then no, yeah.
well done.
So she was
I thought it
leaning
was
on the
her
ropes,
because I only saw the little snips. I thought it was her.
and
That's
she was
amazing.
dressed up as Tony Storm, like in the her timeless Tony
That's
Storm gimmick.
incredible.
With
Now
put
I
the
totally
wig on.
get it.
She put the wig on, and she was leaning against the ropes, and the crowd were booing her, so
Okay.
she was milking the crowd. And then
She
Shivani
was
goes,
milking the crowd.
Shivani was
Speak,
quiet,
bitch.
and he goes, "We're just talk, you bitch." Like that was so fucking
Just
great.
speak,
And
bitch.
like,
Come on now.
and Taz was like, "You're horrible.
He's like, "Cole,
you're a horrible
you're
bitch." Like
He's like, I'm
best.
sorry. I'm just so mad at what happened last week.
That's fucking
Tony
funny.
I
was
thought it was
yeah, the best.
great.
Yeah, no, it
Ugh.
was her dressed up as Tony
just
Storm,
talk,
which I get
bitch.
it. If you just saw the snippet, you thought it was Tony Storm because she looked that good. And
That's
like,
all I saw
and
was
yeah.
the snip. I had no
can't
idea. I
wait
was like,
for
what
their
happened?
fucking match.
That
It's gonna be funny. Fucking
Yeah,
Shivani's
it's
funny
amazing.
even
Good.
against MJF or whatever. Like MJF will say something and he's like, "You stupid bastard!" Like you'll hear Tony Shivani say that in the background because he hates the heel MJF. So like I told
have to
everybody
hate
all
him.
along he was a
Yeah.
heel. He's a bastard.
Oh, it's
so great.
It's
He's
the
a
same thing
bastard.
like how Michael Cole is with Dominic right now. He's all, "You idiot, Dom! What an idiot!
Yeah.
Dom is dummy." Like he's same
And
thing.
Pat
It's so fucking
McAfee is
funny.
just like, "Oh, you stupid, you dummy!" Like he's always like yelling. At
dumb
him.
bastard. Yeah, they talk shit on him. It's fucking
to
great.
Dave's question,
Yeah.
I love
so there
it.
was a 7-year-old daughter, Will let her hit and chop MGF, and then MGF
Yeah.
flipped her off. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, they walked up in the crowd.
That's funny.
It was funny.
They walked up in the crowd and you just see like this little girl hitting him. But did you see what he did afterwards? She hits him in the gut and then she backs away and then MJF's all like he dropped as he was being pulled
Could have
against-
suplexed her. That'd have been funny.
That's
fucking funny.
fantastic.
MJF's
Yeah, that's
the
just
best.
good. That's
Listen,
just good TV. What are you gonna do? That's just good television.
I was a little disappointed when he turned heel again. I know he's most comfortable as that, but he was a amazing babyface. But you know what? When he does shit like that as a heel, I'm like, all right, you get a pass because you're so fucking good at everything you do.
You're
like,
using it.
yeah.
You're using it.
And by the
Yeah.
way, he gets in there with all the people, everybody else who gets deemed best wrestler in the world, which I'm not saying they're not, like Daniel Bryan, Will Ospreay, or whatever. And MJF fucking hangs in there with them
With those guys,
beat
yep.
for beat. Yeah, and then he's like, "When the fuck are you guys gonna call me the best?" So I love that heel MJF when he's like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
it's
you,
lovely.
I'm better than them. Stop it!" And he brought out the oxygen mask when he won at the end. He put
Yeah,
the
I saw
oxygen
that
mask on
part. I
because
did
he
see
brought that
that.
out in the Iron Man match against Daniel Bryan too. When he put it in, so it's wonderful. When he does a good wrestling match and he holds in there with your favorite, like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put oxygen on because it's so tiring. I need to get my oxygen back." Like
He needs the
MJF
New
is
Japan
fucking-
ice packs too on the back of the neck when he's done.
Listen, I need MJF and AEW because I think it helps bring them credibility, but at the same time,
100%.
I mean,
100%.
I would be dishonest if I'm like, can you imagine the WWE machine behind him?
Oh
Like,
my
can
god!
you imagine?
And you know
like,
it's gonna happen.
like
It's
how
gonna
much he would just scorch the how much he would scorch the earth. Like, but I want him to stay in AEW, and I'm glad he does it. And they need that, and they really do. I mean, like honestly, like I like it. His next contract, I'm sure will be different. I'm sure he'll go. But at the same time,
he said something in a promo recently, Jess, where he was like, I love this company, and I think I love it more than anyone else, and I'm not even playing around. Like,
and he should,
he's like,
and he should, and he'll
It's the
eventually
perfect
go to
match.
WWE, and he should go to WWE
he's young
eventually.
enough. He's
and
got
that's
plenty of
awesome.
time.
That's what it was about.
Yeah, he could stay there for another contract.
He should love AEW, and you should scream it to the hilltops because there's too much negativity. And listen, they do make wrong decisions. I'm not suggesting their ratings and attendance are down for a reason because they made bad decisions. But listen, let's let them climb back up. Let's let them build a little bit more.
All the shit talkers have said their last 5 weeks of television have been unbelievable. So
it's been great. Listen, let them go through England. Let's see what they can do. And not even that, just. I'm thankful you can flip the channel on a different day and you can watch something else and you can like something else and just be thankful that you can do that.
But please, please,
next Wednesday is Blood West. It's going to be their war games. Everyone's going to bleed.
Yeah. Whoa, and then you have WWE who is with Pro Wrestling Noah and TNA.
An embarrassment of riches.
Not us here. What are we bitching about? What the fuck are we doing?
Crazy.
There's nothing to be upset about.
Too much good stuff.
There's zero, Dave. That's a great statement. There's fucking zero to be upset about.
Pro wrestling is
there's fucking nothing to be upset about.
Having a good time. Having a good time.
Pro wrestling is AMPM right now. Too much good stuff. No?
Even Seth Rollins' dad bod.
No, there is one thing to be upset about.
Don't worry about the dad bod.
Let me stop you all right now and correct you.
You don't like the dad bod? You don't like Seth's dad bod?
There's one fucking thing to be upset about, and it's because he's the uncrowned champion. Because you fucking course you know what it is. Drew McIntyre. Let me talk to you a little bit. Let me talk to you. He's a fucking uncrowned champion. CM Punk's a bitch, and he just keeps coming in there. And Adam Pearce is a motherfucker. And
you are secretly loving all of this. You love it.
I hate all of it. Drew McIntyre is the uncrowned.
So good, dude. It's so good.
You want the television title to graduate to the World Heavyweight title? You let the fucking uncrowned champion.
It's graduating with this storyline right now.
It's not. It is not going to graduate. I'm sorry for yelling. Drew McIntyre is the uncrowned. He's the only one that's going to christen it and make it the fucking title that it is.
Unless they let
storyline is making you feel that way. That's the whole point.
I'm just saying.
Craig, listen to me right now. Yeah. I want you to listen to me really closely. That's what I think about your fucking opinions right now.
I'm going to be so upset.
Bullshit propaganda siding with CM Punk. You know what though? On a side note though, I don't know what it is. On a side note though, I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is about him because Punk's always had this thing over the audience, and he's popular for a reason. My kids love CM Punk. I don't know why.
Raised him right.
They fucking love him. They love his music. They love his music.
The presentation.
Right? I failed.
It's one of the greatest songs ever.
It's something, and my son will ask, "What are the X's on his things?" And they're only 7 years old, so I'm not going to, tell because they don't know what drugs are, so I'm not going to tell them what drugs are right now. But I just tell them, oh, it's the X's mean that he makes good decisions and all that stuff, which
That's
essentially he does. And he eats good food and he eats healthy and all that stuff. And so,
his body's a temple. That's good. You wouldn't know it by looking at it, but his body's a temple.
Stop it right now. He's natural, Dave. You're right. Drew McIntyre looks like a god, and you should worship him. You're right.
He does. Looks like a goddamn Greek god.
Thank you.
Oh man,
thank you.
I love it, man.
I'm loving all of this. I think the storyline is.
We will see you at Drew McIntyre's matches. Thank you.
By the way, is Orton injured?
And there it is. I think
so. I think he's just very big.
He's just massive. He just can't fit through the doors.
I think he sold it too. When the bloodline came out on him a few weeks back.
Yeah.
My wife thought he was injured. I'm like, he's not. There's nothing anywhere about it.
Okay, good.
And he was selling it. He was selling is all he was doing. Yeah. Which I was happy for.
Yeah, when
he was selling the back,
footage of after it went off air, and they were still really taking their sweet time, and he kept stopping. Oh, Orton.
Yep. He was selling it. I believe he was selling it the whole time. And I'm like, you're a lovely man. You're a lovely man.
It's good stuff, man.
It has us talking about it. That's what I love.
Too much good storylines going on
but that's a 295-pound man. Good gravy.
I think you have to go through other stages to get to other stages in life, whether it's a television show or whatever. I mean, I want to look back sometimes and go, God, can you imagine? For 15 years, we had to suffer with this shit from an old man not understanding that you have to go forward and you don't have to be selfish and make a bubble. But then I'm like, well, I think he had to kind of hold people prisoner for 15 years, for this to mean so much to us right now, the age that we're living through. But I'm just kind of like, God, if you had this mindset after you bought ECW and WCW, how different everything could have been. Like, and obviously there was no one at the time, I mean, he could have just partnered with New Japan possibly at the time. But I mean, like, God, if he would have just if we would have, or even 10 years ago, if after like CM Punk kind of taught him a lesson and then he got Daniel Bryan in his lap and he's like, you know what? I need to broaden my horizons and think differently. It would have been such a funner ride instead of us getting up to the point where we're going to be like, here's the payoff. And then he books like Vince and we're like, fuck. Like, and we just like,
I already told you, bro. Vince was the Al Davis of the wrestling world. He couldn't get away from the Giants. He couldn't get away from the old.
And then we get like the Wyatt family. I'm like, here we go. This is going to be great. And he's like, worms on the ring. And we're like, oh, like, it's like, fuck. Like,
they handle the Wyatt
red
family
lights
for a while.
only.
Red lights everywhere. Like, it's like, but I mean, I guess we had to go through that to some. It's why I respect wrestling fans. It's why I respect wrestling fans more than anything. Like, and why when these new fans come along and they're only 20 or 18 or 17 or however they are, and I'm like, you don't know what it's like to live through the shit, like, and have to go through everything that we've gone through. And
I walked to school both ways uphill in the snow.
Yes. It's partially I need to shut up and stop yelling at things to people to get off my lawn.
Try to explain what you said earlier.
Like,
how we grew up with like literally every match was a squash match, and that's when we liked it. And that's all we watched was squash matches as kids,
and we
didn't see any good matches.
And I used to love it. And then we
squashes every Saturday and Sunday.
We saw decent matches on Saturday Night's Main Event or Clash of the Champions, but we saw the real shit on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, man, dude, like, fuck.
Honestly, I miss prelim squash matches. I really do. I miss them.
I do too.
I think they're fun.
With Raw being 18 hours every Monday, it's 18 hours long. I don't know if you guys knew that. You need to pepper in some fucking. I love prelim matches. Just someone you're trying to get over, or like if you're, a new concept you're trying to get over, have them beat a couple prelims. Like, oh my God, why do I forget names right now?
Braun Breaker.
Shayna Baszler and her new group.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like their new group.
I have them beat a couple prelims every now and then, just to
by
show
the way,
what they can do.
They halfway did it with Braun Breaker. To Cuz's point, they brought out some NXT guys that weren't quite over yet, and he destroyed them.
And that's what you need to do, and have him show off his fucking moves that he does, the fast rope running, running around.
You know what they should do? They don't even call them prelims because they're already kind of prelims. They're just in security uniforms. Just actually have them wrestle security guards. Like with their names, because that's all their prelims are, is like the fake security. So just actually have them wrestle someone with like a polo and the khakis. Already in the ring.
Yeah, Cody even said like the guy that he did the crossroads to, that was like the best crossroads of the year.
Yeah.
He's like, they're at it's like the power plant or something like that. They're at the other
Monster
place.
Factory.
Monster Factory. Thank you. They're at the Monster Factory. And he's like, he's like, I could tell by the way he was holding my other arm and shoulder, I knew he was going to go headshot. He's like, don't do that, man.
So
You're gonna hurt
you just
yourself.
reminded me, Dave.
But he
what
took it like
really
a champ.
pissed me off was at the end of the MJF and Ospreay, one of the paramedics that I'm going to use air quotes for kind of was corpsing. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Don't. And when he was trying to put the oxygen mask on, and the paramedic was like, I was like, do not.
Yeah.
You're fucking ruining everything. Do not waste 60 minutes of this because you can't handle it. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can't fucking stop laughing.
The worst.
No,
He's
that's
dead
too
now.
bad.
No, he's not.
What an asshole. What an asshole.
That guy, he trained at
MJF beat his ass in the back, guaranteed.
the guy trained at the regular size factory, not the Monster Factory.
Oh,
That's
there.
There's a few of them.
That's
There's Cody's Nightmare
AEW
Factory. There's Larry
AEW
Sharp's
step
Monster
below.
Factory. There's
Okay.
the Fun Factory.
Oh,
There's
that's right. Yeah. You're right. Sorry.
There's the Bastion
I
Booger
was
Fun
just quoting
Factory.
what Cody said because I don't know what's going on. There it is. I believe it.
One of the greatest of all
I
time.
believe it.
The greatest ever.
Yeah.
Bastion Booger Fart Factory.
Eddie and
There's a Duke's
Dustin Rhodes,
throw factory. Duke the Jumpster.
Gold Dust Factory.
Draws.
Bar factory.
Draws' bar factory.
Listen.
What'd you say?
Yeah, we got SummerSlam in 2 weeks. We have All In
let's
3 or
fucking
4
go.
weeks.
It's
I
fucking
can't do
great.
math.
We just had Heat
We're coming
Wave,
up
which
for the
is
summer.
good. We
We're
had
gonna
Money in the
get
Bank,
through the
Four
summer,
Day
and then we're gonna.
It's heating up.
There's no more dead time for wrestling. Remember it used to be that way.
Yeah.
Like between
That's
WrestleMania and
very
SummerSlam,
true.
it was dead,
That is
and then they had
very true.
SummerSlam, and then it died again for the
No
fall.
downtime.
Like, and now it's like there's really no time I don't want to watch wrestling. Yeah,
G1
Survivor
is about
Series
to
gonna be
start,
great,
and
'cause War Games
Konosuke
always,
Takeshita is in the
like,
G1.
it's really good.
Come on.
Yeah, G1.
Is he really in both?
N1 and G1,
Yeah.
dog.
Oh, N1 and Noah.
Man.
No. Oh, no, I'm just saying that N1 and the G1.
How do you
both-
wrestle?
yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
understand how you put your body
Everything's
through
Good shit.
all that, and they wrestle so often that those blocks, it's every day or every 2 days for 3 weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a couple of NXT guys are going to be doing that, so that's going to be cool. See.
Yeah.
I might have to subscribe because Pro Wrestling Noah
sound
has
effect. It's good shit.
Pro Wrestling Noah has their $10 a month or whatever.
I mean,
streaming
come
service.
on.
I have to check that out. Check it out. Check it out.
Muta owns that, right? Or Muta's one of the big.
Yeah. He became president this year, and that's when he said, "My goal is to strengthen the relationship with WWE." So it's already this has been his plan. Well, Tony, you're just mad because you're not getting.
Tony doesn't like that. Tony doesn't like that at all.
He's upset.
Not happy with that.
Of course he doesn't.
And
New Japan Pro Wrestling,
it's like,
it's not good.
Yeah. Cocksucker.
Greg, where are we gonna we're gonna hiccup?
Oh, they left after the first 5 minutes
where we gonna hiccup
after
at?
shortly. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I swallowed.
Oh, that's
them.
true. So where did they go then?
See you at the Maches.
Ricky, wrap it up.
Huh?
All right.
Buddy.
Sounds good.
Bye bye.
See you guys.